down, set, hike. It's a phrase many Americans know as the start of a football play, and it also comes to mind when they think of college athletes. However, college athletes play for scholarships, not for a salary. This is because the NCAA rules and regulations state that you are not eligible for participation in a sport if after initial full-time collegiate enrollment you have ever taken pay or the promise of pay for competing in that sport. However, many agree with the Huffington Post, which argues that many of these athletes come from urban, low-class families and often leave school early because of the unimaginable pressure to be the main provider for their family at a young age. However, student athletes should not have that much stress on them where they have to provide for their family. So that is just one of the main and many reasons that student athletes should not be paid. When people think that student athletes should be paid, it's because they believe that they deserve it. However, according to drugabuse.com, there have been 945 substance-related game suspensions and $68,203,788 issued in fines in the NFL alone, which is the National Football League. And if this money was given to college football players, then imagine if that number could rise based on college athletes getting paid money and being able to spend recklessly. And then Lauren Douche argues that college athletes should make money because of how much the colleges make based on those football plays. However, if you go to acenet.edu, you would see that for almost every other university, sports is a money-losing proposition. Only big-time college football has a chance of generating enough net revenue to cover not only its own cost, but those of Olympic sports. This means that the college football money isn't actually making that much of a profit as it appears to be. And also, now it's clear that schools aren't making that much money. How would it affect the gameplay? Well, if you take a look at Peyton Manning on CBS Sports, you would see he made $2 million when the Broncos got to the Super Bowl because he played at least 70% of the offensive plays. Now, if he didn't make that, do you think that would have affected the way he played to where he would add more plays that he's involved in? Or do you think that he would just keep playing normally and not try and make the $2 million? Well, also, Huffington Post states that athletes may never go to class because if you give the kids money, they'll never have any incentive to go to class because many don't already, and if they're receiving grades for not doing any work, money will only add to the fact that they don't want to go. And so, overall, there are many reasons to why college athletes should not be paid. Even though people may argue the students deserve it, it could lead to other problems. They could flunk their classes, not play to their potential, and do many other things. On top of it, the schools don't make as much money as it appears, and that is why college athletes should not be paid.